This presentation is brought to you by Smoooth Productions.
It is another wonderful Wednesday night, Sports Delight, because this is ladies' night. Let your hands up when the beat drops. What up? Happy hump day. If you see me on the screen by myself, then you know what that means. It's ladies' night. And of course, without ladies' night, it's just the regular platform sports talk show. So thank you everyone for tuning in. We have a great guest joining us tonight. Of course, we have a plethora of topics. Now, I just said if you see me by myself, but of course, that's not actually all the way true. Ladies' night is not the same with just me. We need the panel. So we're going to bring up first, representing the Beyonce experience / music and dance and all that she does. None other than our own Miss Jamie.
What's up? Happy hump day.
Happy hump day. Hey, you said it on the intro for us earlier this week. Women's History Month.
Yes. Women's History Month. Let's go. Set it off.
Yes, ma'am. So it's March Madness, March winter storm after a spring day in St. Louis area. Like, what the heck is really going on?
Exactly. I didn't realize it was snowing. I was like, what is happening?
Like, I was driving, even though it was just flurries, it was coming down so hard. Windshield wipers going hard. Of course, people can't drive. I said, It was just spring yesterday. What's going on?
Right.
Anyway, but yes. We got you, me, and of course, that's not by ourselves. We have all the way from the boondocks with the nice brown prego belly, Miss Jobo.
What's up? Happy Wednesday. I'm happy to see you guys didn't fly away out there because my gosh. Ooh, I went into the office today and the car was moving all over the place, but yeah. It was nice. We went on a walk the other day and then it's freezing again, but I think next week is like all 70s. So hopefully that stays.
I'm still nervous. A couple people told me that at work today. 70s. I said, with this type of weather we had, we went from spring to winter in 24 hours. I'm not sure we're out of the winter storms yet. I'm sorry. I'm still nervous. So I don't want to speak it up yet until we actually get there. So we shall see. Yeah. And of course, our favorite viewer listener, Miss Alice Williams, also known as Miss Dub. She said,
"Hey, Miss Dub."
Hey, Miss Dub.
Oh, look, somebody's waving to Miss Dub as well over here. Anyway, so real quickly, Jobo, Beyonce, Women's History Month. I can always say what's going on, but I was like, you know what? We can start off right away with our guest panelist because she is women's history. All right, like Miss Aisha Foy is resume is outstanding, okay? And this is great to have her not just on ladies' night, but just doing historical things, especially with the NIL is the biggest, baddest thing they're talking about in NCAA. So, excuse me, I want to get some quick highlights of her resume before we bring her on. But excuse me, you all, my sinuses are draining. I think it's because of that warm to cold. So I'm not trying to keep clearing my throat here, but I can't help it. It's crazy. Anyway, so let's talk about Miss Aisha. Real quickly, our producer was talking about how the connection happened. Jamie, were you involved in that as well? Of how we got her to be on the show?
I know somebody that knows somebody.
Know somebody that knows somebody?
Yeah. I call him Coach C.
Okay.
But yeah, Coach Carl Reed.
Ah.
He the plug. He been the plug since high school days. So shout outs to him.
Okay. Coach Reed. And he's been a guest on the show, the Platform Sports Talk Show, and is the Man Cave, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sorry, you all. Now, if y'all have a quick home remedy, I don't want to scare Miss Aisha off here, but if y'all got a quick home remedy, let me know.
No, but I want to, every time I hear her name, I want to say, Aisha, you were the girl that I never had. So that tells you how old I am. Because,
intro.
Yes, like the J Hud show. Let's just make a whole single.
Tell me about ABC. You are the girl
Like
that
never bad creation. But yeah, I think that's who it was. But anyway.
ABC, PBD, East Coast Family. Sorry, all off script here. All right. Let me give you a quick background on Miss Aisha Foy. She's recognized for her leadership skills. She also had a great basketball playing career, student athlete, just doing great things as an NIL coach. She, of course, is an author, girls basketball consultant. Right now, let me tell you, if you look back for the last, 9+ years, she was the NCAA Woman of the Year in 2016. She made first team All Big South. She was a who's who among American colleges and university students. She won the Center for Diversity and Inclusion Established Leader Award. She completed 4 internships in college as a student athlete. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. So the girl is dope, okay? And she's also the founder and president of Independent Women Achieving Goals in Education. And again, that's just a condensed resume. But ladies, without further ado, let's welcome Miss Aisha Foy. Miss Aisha, I don't want to talk about my resume compared to yours, baby. You got me going like, I don't know about it.
Thanks so much for the introduction. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me on the show. What was that picture you just showed there?
Right.
Yeah, don't worry. Smoooth probably has a
code already.
Where it all started, huh?
Oh, we got full of surprises. Surprise.
I was about to say, the producer pulled out receipts from the past with these pictures, honey, okay?
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm excited for this conversation. Love Ladies Night. And like you said, it's Women's History Month, so let's do it.
Hey, we're looking at some history right now. So, hey, this is what we do here. So, one of the first questions we always ask our guests: when did you fall in love with sports?
I would say I fell in love with sports as soon as I started playing AAU. My sister played AAU. She's 4 years older than me. And when I was I would go to practice with her, I would be running up and down the sideline with the team, even though I had no business out there. I was like 6 or so. And I think then that's why I just found out that I wanted to compete. I wanted to get ahead of things. I wanted to compete and try to be first at whatever I did. And that's kind of the mindset that I've had throughout my whole life.
All right. Well, if anybody's not familiar with AAU by now, they cover a lot of things. I know a lot of people are familiar with basketball, AAU, track, but they do a lot of other sports. I think wrestling. It's actually pretty much every sport out there, but I guess some get more notoriety than others. But I've heard a few times as far as AAU circuit and teams help save some young people's lives, especially like they needed it and it worked out well. So
yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's say, where did it all begin? Originally from what city and state?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Okay. So do y'all consider Virginia Beach kind of East Coast still, or is that considered South Atlantic?
Nah, it's East Coast. It's East Coast.
Okay. So with that Virginia Beach, Virginia vibe out there, growing up, what is it like to again compete? When I say compete, we're talking about you're the bomb college athlete, special athlete that you are. But when you have to start back from your elementary, middle school years, what was it like competing against other men and even probably women, or should I say girls and boys back then?
Yeah, I mean, in the 757, that's where we call the Seven Cities, where I'm from. It's a big basketball place, so there were a lot of good talent. I mean, I wasn't even close to the best player in my, um, in my city or in my state or anything like that. It was just loaded with talent. So that's just what we did. We competed. We tried to make the best teams. Everybody wanted to play on Boo Williams' team. So that's kind of what kept us motivated, trying to be an elite player. And we just worked. We had fun. We started at a young age. So we were very skilled, but we just wanted to, we just want to be the best that we can be and compete and win. That was kind of our mindset. But like I said, the 757 is still loaded with talent. So it wasn't anything to find good basketball, to find good teams to play against, or to find good players to motivate you and just keep you going towards your goals.
Nice. Well, you say your sister played, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was it a little in-house competition as well?
Not really. No, not really. I mean, she was 4 years older than me. And I mean, I don't even recall, and I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I don't necessarily recall us like playing against each other or me trying to be better than her or anything like that, because I was just so small and I was kind of just in my own world. And the teams and stuff I played on, we were just kind of thinking about how can we beat, our opponents and stuff like that. That was what happened.
I was going to say, what happened? Look at you.
Locked in. The ball was life.
Right.
Right. You look so serious. How old were you there?
Yeah, I was 9. In that picture, I'm 9. Yeah, and then Norfolk Express, my mom created that program. So we're in Young's Terrace Community Center, and that's why my mom worked for, over 20, 30 years, and is in the middle of what would be called the projects. And the whole goal was, for my mom, the whole goal was to help kids get out of the projects or to see different life. And, obviously get a scholarship, get school paid for, use basketball to do that. So that picture means a lot. And that's not necessarily for me, but also like for the whole program, because that was the first year that we started. And obviously that was over 20 years ago.
Well, shout out to your mom for starting it. That's amazing. Very awesome. So it's in your DNA.
Yeah, it's crazy that picture that you bring up, because all my coaches say I didn't play defense, but then I ended up, on the cover of the magazine in a great defensive stance.
Right.
With your mom creating the program, like, did she have anything to do? I mean, creating the program's not coaching, but like, did you feel more like pressure, I guess, since she's a big part of it?
Yeah, I really don't remember feeling that way. I mean, my mom, she had always been in leadership positions before we did basketball. We double dutch. She was in charge of a big double dutch organization, very similar to AAU. The way we do AAU and travel, double dutch was kind of the same way. So I was kind of used to my mom being in charge, and I don't think it necessarily, like, consciously, it didn't kind of change my mindset. It was just something that I was used to.
So wait, you double dutch and you play basketball?
We stopped. So when we started basketball in that picture, I was about 9. Once that organization started, double dutch was over. It was all basketball from there. But yeah, before then, I double dutch. I remember the 3rd grade was the last time I competed, and we traveled and went to the world. But my mom and they had done it for way longer than I had done it. Yeah,
that's super dope. That was like a hidden fun fact. I have a girls organization, and we do a like back to school event, but the whole premise is to do like old school games. And I say double dutch, they have no clue what I'm even talking about. So the fact that you are a product of Double Dutch is amazing. So
Yeah, it is funny to think about. And then, like I said, as soon as basketball started, it stopped completely. But I mean, we used to travel in packs, like 50 to 100 girls all around the world double dutching.
I didn't even know you could compete in double dutch. Like I know of it and getting into fun game and whatnot, but I didn't know. But I guess anything these days, like literally nowadays, anything's like a competition. But I never would have known that.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Like it was called nationals, just like with basketball. We went to the world, and double dutch was called the world. And like we in a big arena, timers. We got people, people sitting at a table watching every step, like counting your steps or timing you and stuff. It was pretty crazy.
yeah, dope.
Yeah, that sounds intense. So you're used to the bright lights then, because obviously that started at a young age.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm used to competing, and used to just trying to be your best at something and trying to win.
Who are some players that kind of help shape you as a basketball player, or that you admired, or anything like that?
I mean, I love that you asked that question while you have this picture up because Allen Iverson was a big thing for me, and I
Okay.
believe I was trying to do Allen Iverson hair in that picture with a mohawk, so I don't
Okay.
look like a little boy. But yeah, like I think I wanted Iverson with a mohawk, so he was big, and then players in my area like Jasmine Walters, she played with Lake Teller, and then she played at ODU. Jasmine Parker played at Maury, then played at ODU. Um, a lot of players in our area I really looked up to while I was younger.
Dope. So what do
Kobe
you just?
is a big player that I looked up to, but I didn't really start getting into him until I was a little bit older.
Who's the last person you just said?
Kobe Bryant. I'm a
Oh,
crazy Kobe Bryant fan.
okay.
Crazy. But that didn't come about till I hit or late high school, early college, where I just was like obsessed with Kobe.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Um. So you've been in this game for a minute. So what are your thoughts just seeing the transition and trajectory of women's basketball? Because it's just blown up in a amazing way. But to be in it and like live it, breathe it, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm in it, as it's continuing to progress and continuing to get more traction as a professional. Um, it gives kids more to look up to. It also comes with a lot more pressure and a lot more need for preparation and to be mentally tough. But it's just amazing to watch. It's something that women always deserved, but it's getting the attention nationally that it deserves. It's always been, you know, big on the college level and also, big on in locally where I was planted and where I played. But it's good to see the trajectory as it nationally with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and just them using their personal brands to build a celebrity platform, which should have been that way. But with social media and now that you can get to know the players and that you can now fans can be more invested in the players' journeys, it makes more eyes on it, right? And then that's what brands want. So the brands blow it up, social media blow it up because that's what they're talking about, the players, they're talking about their lives. And then yeah, it's a good thing to be a part of.
Dope. So you transition from player to recruiter, like the director of recruiting I read on your bio. So
Yeah.
how was that transition from, like you on the court to now you are seeking the talent and, boosting up the organization?
Yeah, so the first transition was player to coach. Soon as I finished playing, I was a graduate assistant at Southeast Missouri State, and it was hard actually. It was, and the crazy thing is as a player, as a coach, I thought about basketball way more than I thought about it as a player.
Wow.
And that was crazy. Like I would be in sometimes I would sleep in the office. Like that's how much work and that's how much thought, that's how much intention it goes that you need to be a good coach and to run a good program. At Division 1 level. And of course I'm young in my work habits, so I maybe not the most efficient and things like that, but it was challenging. And who I worked for, I actually was at Southeast Missouri State. Y'all talked about Missouri earlier.
Yeah.
That's where I spent my
Whoop,
first 2
whoop.
years in Cape Girardeau, and I worked for Rika Patterson. And Rika Patterson, a Black woman, um, who's been very successful. She was an assistant at Baylor when Baylor went 40-0, and and she was intentional about making sure I knew what it took to be successful in this business. So it was hard. It's like when you have a coach, even if you don't have the best relationship with your coach, their job is to care about you, right? So you feel that protection, you feel like you're being taken care of. Somebody cares about your feelings, even if you don't even have a good relationship with your coach, it's still their job to take care of you. When the coach is now your boss, it's a completely different dynamic. And it's like nobody cares about your feelings, like you need to get this done. So it was hard. But yeah, you just had to get through.
Well,
But it was kind
but
of
doesn't
surreal.
kill you, make you stronger, right?
Yeah, that that is how I would describe those 2 years that I spent at Missouri. But even
Wow.
the age difference as well. So I'm pretty young I was pretty young for my grades. So I was 21 when I graduated. So I was 21 on a staff, and then we had players on the team that was 21. So also trying to balance you being a professional, you're not their friend. Um, you know, balance how you carry yourself around them, making sure they still respect you, and not even just them respecting you, but other people that you work with respecting you as a professional. So that was a challenge too, with the transition as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how was the relationship with the players? Because if y'all, close in age, and now you're in this different role, then having to switch and wear different hats than you were before. So
Yeah, I mean, let me shut this door real quick. Sorry, my dog wanted to.
the dog gonna be on ladies' night. Let's
Hey,
go.
tell them the dog come on with
He
it.
wants to talk to everybody. But yes, thankfully I didn't know anybody prior to, so it wasn't like I was their
Yeah.
teammate and then I turned into their coach. Um, but it's like you just balance if you want them to like you, and you balance, um, you know, what are they talking about in front of you? Do they feel comfortable cussing in front of you? Because they shouldn't, right?
Mhm.
Um, stuff like that. But I mean they respected me. Um, I related to them easily. They could come to me. It's all good when you cool with them, right? When they first meet you, they see your smile, like it's all good. I think the most difficult part is when they are going through tough times of the season and they don't want to talk to you. And they're mad. They just mad at all the coaches. So now you're included in that. What I'm saying? Like they may be hating basketball right now, and they see you, and you're part of the reason why they hate their lives right now. So that's kind of that dynamic is kind of interesting to navigate. But yeah, and when you know eventually, or that the rest of your career you're going to be in this type of setting, you just kind of get used to it, and you just find ways to navigate it and how you can feel comfortable with that balance. But I never really had an issue with like wanting to be their friend necessarily. Is more so like you wanting them to trust you, because I was pretty mature even in college. I was barely friends with my teammates. I love my teammates. They were my sisters, but I didn't necessarily hang out with them, or I didn't hang out with them that often. So I was a lot more mature than, like, I was doing things, doing internships, stuff like that. So I wasn't being distant away from them wasn't a bother, but it's more so of them not feeling like they can trust you because they feel like you're on the same team as they op, and they op is the head coach.
Right. You was
Wow.
Kobe for real. You was
That's a different perspective. I don't get to hear too often from that, as far as you being a close age of the players, and still they treating you like you're which you are on the coaching staff. But you know how you guys have a lot of similarities because y'all the same age group. But the fact that it's like when they shut down from basketball because they're mad and they shut you out. I mean, did you know not to take it personal? When the first season that it happened to you, you were just like, "What's wrong?" Were you second guessing yourself, like you should do a better job, and staff or what?
Yeah, I mean, I knew not to take it personal, but it's still hard to navigate because then you got the coaches who are much older, at least for my sake. Like, I have the coaches that are much older than me, so I'm not on their level, and then I'm not on the players level either. So for me specifically, it was just kind of hard to navigate. But yeah, no, you know that you are not supposed to, right? Because I could have easily been in the locker room with them, talking whatever they was talking. So it was more so myself and, like, knowing where do I want to fit. There are coaches or GAs that was my age that don't necessarily know how to draw the line, or they want so bad for the players to like them and stuff like that. So it's more so like a personal standard that you want to balance, because at the end of the day, you want the head coach to trust you regardless. Like, because the players, they don't care about you. The
Right.
players, they'll get you fired, right? And they'll turn on you. So the last thing you want to do is to have your job questioned or your professionalism questioned because of a player.
Yep. I always say, as the leader, I want my team to not like me all the way. You know what I mean? Like, we can have tension sometimes, but it's to grow you, not to be combative, so I feel like that applies in any realm of life, so.
Yeah. I feel like once it clicked for me that I didn't care if they liked me, that's when I really felt like I was ready to be a coach, seriously, because it is a weird space to be in. And then once you don't care, you're like, okay, I could do this.
Right. Yep.
Okay, with them not liking me.
0 F factor. No.
Oh wow!
Sorry. Y'all know I gotta say something random.
You do, but it ain't random because it has
that's what it is. The
Hey,
zero,
no. While you
zero
said that,
F.
a book that really helped me, I'm big into, like, reading and insights and stuff like that. A book that helped me kind of get over that was, what is The Art of Not Giving an F. It's an orange book by Mark Manson. I highly recommend that book. But yeah, that was a book. I read that book when I was a GA, and that really helped me kind of free mentally with any aspect of life. Just free yourself from caring about what people think.
See, y'all get the book. See,
And you said that, so that made me think about it.
Let me ask you this: did you feel more pressure as a player when you were in college compared to when you first became a GA and on that role where now I'm not a player, I am on staff and I'm trying to grow my career? So this is new. The coaching staff gonna have high expectations, even though you're quote unquote young. But it's like, hey, you're not a player, you're on a different side now. You feel like more pressure there, or just playing basketball, you had more pressure?
When you transition from coach to player, and I don't know if you are parents or anything like that, but it's almost like that same type of transition. You realize that you had an easy life as a player. So when you are a player and like I said, when you transition from a coach to a coach or on a staff, like, you see how spoiled players are. You see how they just, you go to class and you go to practice. Like, it's not that hard, right? Like, you go to study hall where somebody is helping you study. You got an academic advisor or somebody is making sure people are texting you, making sure you get to where you're supposed to be. And on our staff, like that was my job. So I'm basically, I don't want to say I'm babying them, but I'm the person making sure that they get where they're supposed to be at and do what they're supposed to do. So when you go from that to that, you realize that it's no pressure at all being a player. Just show up, do what you're supposed to do, and play hard. It really ain't no pressure. Just play.
I love the analogy. That's good.
All right, good job. One other question. So do you think it's I don't want to say generational disconnect, but what is it from when you were playing college ball and you transitioned to being on the coaching staff to a few years later, the generation now that's playing ball? Because you said you weren't trying to baby them, but you said you noticed how players then were so, I won't say ungrateful, but they were so babies, like they high expectations for, stuff that is like, to me, it shouldn't, I'm trying to figure out how to say with the generational drop off, because my perception of people that are in high school and college is like, they seem some of the stuff, regular academics, regular practicing and all that, people's work ethic seems a little tighter, harder, and stricter compared to the high school and college athletes I see now. I mean, again, I'm an outsider. I'm not there at all practices, and have you seen it on a collegiate level? But from my observation, from time in college to now, it just seems like that generation. That's why I said, is it a drop off or is it difference? I don't know. I just think the work ethic is different because it transfers over into the work world.
I mean, I don't. The kids and the players, they work hard. It's not necessarily an effort thing that's different. And I wasn't excluding myself from, like, all players get the structure laid out for them. When I was a player, somebody was doing it for me. I think it's more so the structure that we help them, that we provide for them, right? So if, for example, if a professor don't tell you, like, for example, if we're missing a game because, if you're missing class before a game, you making sure that you go to the professor and you stay behind and you make sure that you need to know. At the same time, you also have an academic advisor who's printing out letters for you, who's probably in contact with the professors. Who they may be emailing the professors for you. So that's what I mean when I say the athletes are spoiled. Not necessarily the work ethic, is just the initiation or the understanding that you have to be the one to make this happen. And and sometimes that comes from a staff wanting to just be there to support them. Not everybody has a GA. So me being a GA, I can go check classes. I could go, text them, see where you at, instead of them getting in trouble by their professor or getting in trouble by a university, personnel. They got me to be like, yo, where you at? Or when you gonna turn in this assignment? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
You mentioned you like books, and I see that you are an author. So your book is Success is My Major. So tell us a little bit about that and where we can find it.
Yeah. I mean, it is. There you go, right there. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
If you type in Amazon Aisha Foy or Success is My Major, it'll pop right on up. You can also go to successmajorbook.com, successmajorbook.com. And the book is about, when I was a student athlete, like I kind of mentioned, when I was younger, like our mindset was always about winning and competing. So when you get to college and you get to that transition, like, it's difficult. And basketball seems so much harder than what it really needs to be. Navigating through life seems so much harder than what it really needs to be. So I was just obsessed with figuring it out. I didn't like feeling confused. I didn't like feeling like a failure. So I started reading books. I started, really investing in myself, doing a lot of personal development. I spent, I don't know how much on personal development. I would say tens of thousands of dollars I've spent on personal development. Probably more in the $20,000 range of how much I spent in personal development since I've been in college. And I was just obsessed with figuring it out. And as I was learning different things, I was like making transitions in my own transformations in my own life. So I wanted to share those. So that's a book full of insights about what it takes to be successful. Um, and it's not just my ideas or my opinion. I did a lot of research and studied a lot of other books and authors and things that really works to, you know, put together basically a system for success. Just like if I'm a math major, right, I go through certain classes and be able to get a job in, you know, the math field. If you major in success, you follow these principles. They're principles that won't fail you. And yeah, you know, you follow those principles. You think about what you need to major in to be successful instead of thinking about what you need to major in to get a certain job.
I love it. So my whole premise of my nonprofit is like the school of life, because I'm like, nobody teaches you life. You go through all of these things, learning just, you know, core areas, like you said, math, science, all these things. But every day I have to live regardless of these things. And it's definitely a gap between, you know, what's being taught in schools versus what's needed to just live as a productive, you know, adult in this world. So love
Yeah.
it.
I love that you said that, because I mean, out of all the support that I had and you know, parents being good examples and all the coaches that I had, like they weren't giving um me what I needed, right? It takes personal you know, development. It takes self-awareness. Like nobody's teaching you how to be self-aware. Everybody's yelling at you or telling you what you're doing wrong. Nobody's teaching you how to develop your, you know, characteristics into something positive, right? So again, this is no knock to any coach, parent, anybody that's poured into me, but when I was going through difficulty, it was books that actually gave me the answers that I needed. And that's why I felt the need to write a book, because if it wasn't for books, I wouldn't be the person that I am. I definitely wouldn't have accomplished the things that I've accomplished if it wasn't for being intentional about personal development and books and learning and authors. Like my authors have been my best teachers in my life, other authors.
Awesome. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. Hey, everybody that's tuned in to the Platform Sports Talk Show, we have a wonderful, dynamic, beautiful guest here, Aisha. However, she can't know what's on your mind. She's not a mind reader. Everyone, leave your comments. If you're on the Facebook page, put all comments under the Platform Sports Talk Show. If you're on the IG page, Platform Sports Talk Show. And of course, YouTube. Make sure go to the Platform Sports Talk Show page. Leave all comments under there. And also, while you're there, subscribe and do what, Jayon say?
Click that bell.
That's right. Because anytime we go live, what happens, Jobo?
You will be notified.
That's what I'm talking about, ladies. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Aisha, you know more people than people in my whole neighborhood. So make sure your friends, family, I know they're watching. Leave comments, because you know what? When we interact with them, it brings a different energy. So we love it. So come on, y'all, leave them comments. Aisha has a lot of knowledge, a lot of great things she's done over her career. We still want to keep talking about it.
Yes.
So yes. Okay, commercial break over.
So till we get a comment, because I'm gonna run my mouth. I saw on your bio it says NIL coach and a basketball consultant, and I kept saying, "No, you're saying that wrong. It's the opposite way." So,
Either
and
way.
I was like, "Well, tell me what a NIL coach is, and just
Yeah,
give us
so
some clarity."
name, image, and likeness is you know, who you are, what you stand for, what your brand is. And recently, student athletes are now able to make money off their name, image, and likeness. So it kind of like blew up, right? Now student athletes think they can just get a paycheck for showing up and playing and things like that. So when I was on the staff, building a brand has always been something that, you know, as you can kind of see in my resume, my progression has always been about, you know, building a brand and being a better version of yourself and things like that. So I was very familiar with all things that student athletes had to do because I had done it myself, right? Even writing a book, that's using your NIL you're using your NIL to sell a book. So I was very familiar with it once the law passed. So I kind of dove into helping our players, figuring out, how you can be successful, studying athletes that was able to get NIL and things like that. So, you know, basically what it is like I coach people to build a brand, to understand how they can be marketable, to reach out to brands so you can get partnerships, to, get over yourself so you can feel better about putting yourself out there. All activities that NIL, consist of, and things that you need to do to make yourself marketable so you can have a chance of getting a deal and maximizing your platform. I coach athletes up on doing that. So yeah, that's what an NIL coach is. And I'm also an NIL consultant too, but since I had to use both of those, NIL coach, basketball consultant.
Love it. Love it. So with the NIL world, do you work primarily with female athletes, or is it just open to any athlete, period?
It's open to any athlete.
Okay.
I mean, obviously I'm more visible to female athletes, very, big into women's basketball, and girls basketball. But I mean, any athlete. I have a lot of boys, actually, parents of boys gravitate to me a lot more. Not sure why, but so it doesn't matter, boys or girls. I hope. Same process.
So what are your thoughts on the people that say, hey, has damaged or ruined NCAA sports?
I mean, that's simply just not true, right? So if you look at from a big picture standpoint, it has, and we're not even talking about kids making money. We're talking about the value of the product, right? So Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, Paige, and I'm talking basketball lingo because that's who I'm most familiar with, right? Now you're giving these athletes an incentive to build their brand. Angel Reese wouldn't be who Angel Reese is if it wasn't for NIL. Because now she's incentivized to build her brand. She's incentivized to post on social media. She's incentivized, like, monetarily, to do these things. And then you look at viewers. If you look at Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and even Cameron Brink and Rakia Jackson, all of those WNBA players that are a lot popular. I won't say they're more popular than anybody else, but they're a lot more popular than other rookie classes. Their popularity is translating to the WNBA because they already had a personal brand. I'm not saying they wouldn't have a personal brand if it wasn't for NIL, but that personal brand is now incentivized. So now they're doing things, they're getting NIL deals, they're getting publicity, and now all of these athletes have fans. Then their personal fans are also fans of the game, right? So the viewers, all that. So it ruining it is simply not true. Does it make jobs harder for coaches? Yes. Does it make it more complicated? Yes. Does it make it more work to build a roster? Yes, but it's not ruining the sport. I mean, the thing about it, the rights to your NIL should have never been taken away in the first place, right? So everybody in the United States had the rights to their NIL except college student athletes. So them having the right to their NIL is foolish for them to never not been able to have that right. That's crazy. That means they're everything about themselves belong to NCAA or belong to their school. Basically, they wrote their rights away. So it ruining it. I mean, it's not true on any level. I can say that it is a headache for coaches, it's a headache for ADs, but I mean, you can look at the viewership and see that it's not ruining the sport.
Okay, great breakdown and analogy. So yes, okay. I'm just, anytime those three letters are mentioned, NIL, at least when I hear it on radio shows and sports shows, it always seems like it has a negative vibe to it. But I mean, you just did mention it could be headaches for different people in these different arenas of sports, but ruining it, no. But again, it's been topic where people say that. It's like, oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
you made a good point. They should have never taken it away from the beginning with, right?
Yeah, and even, I mean, the fact that it's not regulated, that could be, quote unquote, ruining. That could be a negative thing, but at the same time, like, that's not the viewer's problem. That's the coach's problem and the AD's problem. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I was on a committee for a student that's trying to argue that, and when he did his research, he can't find anything that agrees to what he's talking about. So I think that's interesting because he was very adamant about saying that NIL is ruining college sports, but he couldn't find any research to support it.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like that doctoral student coming out, baby, because she got to do a lot of research to get that doctorate, and you're almost there. So please tell me, how was that coming?
I got a long way to go. I'm in the beginning of my second semester, and I almost died my first semester, but I came back to life and I'm good.
Woohoo! I say almost there because I try to be positive because I have friends that did doctorates, and I know it's not easy, but just mine says I'm almost there, almost there. Aisha's gonna be here before you know it. I'm telling you. I don't care if it takes you decades. Hey, just get it done. You are breaking doors and barriers because the percentage of women that are earning doctors and have doctorates, at least Black women, single digits. Okay, so keep at it, honey. But yeah, that's why I said you do research you like to read. I said, wait a minute, I know you my soul, and I didn't know you my soul.
Yes, ma'am.
I like you for a reason.
Hey,
Front door.
what's up, Laura?
I was on the picture. I'm looking at the stove. I said,
Yeah, you saw that right.
I love it. I love it. I will show you the background of my office, but my camera ain't that good on this laptop, so we're gonna bypass that. But okay, so break it back. I'm sorry. Now I'll stop digressing. But please tell who's in that picture.
My mom on the right, and then my grandma on the left. She just passed away about a year ago. So I'm looking at the picture like, oh.
Oh,
Yes, love it.
beautiful picture. Our faithful viewer, Miss Dub, says, I don't know that NIL has been enforced long enough to know what the long-term effect on college sports will be. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, she's right. I mean, I don't think anybody can tell what the long-term effects will be. It is, even though it's 3 years old, it's still changing, right? I mean, now on top of NIL, it will be, we'll start revenue sharing. So that's going to change the whole dynamic of how to build a roster, how to build a team, and who's getting what and stuff like that. But the positive thing about it is that it teaches student athletes how to be professionals early, right? These student athletes were not professionals. Now they are professionals. They have to conduct themselves in a professional way. So that's the thing that we all know that will happen, is that it will make athletes mature faster. But as far as like the landscape of college athletics, it's changing day to day. I mean, I think it was a hearing either today or yesterday. It was a hearing going on in court. So yeah, it is changing. But I mean, if you talk to a student athlete that had the opportunity to maximize their NIL, it's nothing but positive things out of their experience. And like I said, it just helps you mature faster and helps you have professional opportunities. Like, you're meeting with businesses. You're having to look over contracts. You had to think about your brand. You're having to take care of your finances. You had to learn how to pay taxes. All of these things student athletes have to do if they want to participate in NIL. What does that mean? They just mean they're maturing faster.
I was just about to say that. Sound like real world. Okay, you're an adult faster than you want to be, but this is what you signed up for, right?
Yeah. I'm working with a student athlete now. I mean, we did some work a year ago, and I reached out to the company, and she haven't even fulfilled her contract yet. So I'm like, yo, call me. What are you doing? And those are things that they have to be aware of, that you are signing contracts, so you're obligated to do things even when you don't feel like it.
Let's say, welcome to adulting, okay? We welcome you with open arms.
Yeah.
Come
I mean,
on to the adulting world. You see?
I don't see how that is. I don't see how any part of that is a negative effect. Um, yeah, I mean, has the entitlement increased? Yes, that is an issue. People not knowing, people thinking they deserve a certain amount of money when they have no clue how it works. Entitlement, yes, but as far as once it's all said and done, um, I mean, what's wrong with you being compensated or having the rights to your name, image, and likeness?
That's what I was going to ask. As the NIL coach, do you assist with the financial part? I do taxes, and I feel like, I mean, it doesn't even matter what age you are. People don't know how to fill out any of the forms to set themselves up for success in the long run. And, I can't even imagine, like in college, I would have no idea either. I'm like, Mom, Dad, what I'm supposed to write, like right.
Yeah.
But
I don't
like,
necessarily help with that. I make sure they do it. I
okay,
make sure that you go talk to somebody on campus to help you figure that out. Go talk to your parents. I don't necessarily like sit down with them and help them do that part. It sucks. You just got to do your taxes. There are tools out there, like there are apps that people use. Like one of the NIL apps is called Open Doors, and if you do all your deals through there, to actually like send you the tax information, so you don't gotta like manually do it. So um I coach with all aspects, but I'm not a financial advisor, not one bit. But what I do is I bring in speakers to help our student athletes and parents understand finances. So I be resourceful for my athletes and make sure they know how to access the information that they need.
right, right. So based on what you're saying, it sounds like you have a lot of pros in regards to NIL, but are there any cons in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, there are cons in the process. Overarching again, is the rights to your NIL, but I mean, the cons are athletes are entitled. Parents are going through the recruiting process with no education, and kind of in a delusional state, right? So if I hear that so and so is getting paid $500,000, I have no idea where that money is coming from. I have no idea what schools are even capable of, you know, throwing that number out. I have no idea of what all is getting to that number, right? So that's why I thought it was important to go out on my own and start um my consulting business, was because people are just clueless, right? So that's a con. Um Yeah, I mean, there's entitlement, right? So, for example, I'm putting this out there because it was public knowledge. I hate talking about Florida State men's basketball because I love Coach Hamilton, but it was national news that players were suing their coach, right? Because a coach promised them something that they weren't getting. Um,
Oh, wow.
so like that's insane. That's
Right.
insane, and people will
Yeah, I did
blame
see that.
NIL.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a NIL problem. That's a somebody lied problem, right? That's not an NIL problem. Like, somebody lied. Um, so stuff like that is a lot of just fumbles. Is a lot of some kids are being taken advantage of, or
Mm-hmm.
bad contracts. A lot of bad contracts. A lot of people, uh, promising something that they aren't delivering. That happens a lot. That
Mm-hmm.
happens very often. So things like that. But again, education. If you educate yourself, you prepare, these things don't happen. If you consult with someone, those things don't happen. If you get you an attorney to look over a contract, those things don't happen. So education and consulting eliminates a lot of those issues that are having. But those are cons, just
Mm-hmm.
not doing it the right way.
So if I was a student athlete in high school, and my mama or father was listening to the Platform Sports Talk Show podcast, and they got a hold of this great video. Oh, sorry, great video, great interview with Aisha Foy. It's like, how do I contact her? What I need to do? I need her to be your NIL manager. What would mom or dad do?
Okay. First, I would say I can't be an NIL manager because I don't manage I don't manage kids. I do assist, I do consult. But I get that often. People want me to be their agent when I'm like, I'm not even trying to get into that I'm in that world, but not in that world. But what was I about to say? So the first thing I would do is hopefully you can find my Instagram account and there's a link in my bio. You can join. I have a parent group. So I go live with parents. It's supposed to be monthly. Sometimes I don't get to it monthly. It's completely free. Um, you can join the parent group. The parent group is free. You can ask me any questions in that parent group. I don't know how many videos in that group to get you started. Like, how do I need to get started? Um, Another thing I would do is I do a boot camp every summer. So I would go purchase the boot camp. And in the boot camp, it's not just me educating. I pull experts, attorneys, financial advisor. I have a financial advisor on the boot camp, and her session alone is worth the cost of the boot camp. So I would start there, joining the group, and then get in that boot camp so you can hear from different experts about what you need to be doing to prepare for NIL. And then feel free to ask me any questions, shoot me a DM and ask any questions. And I'm happy to hop on the phone with anybody to answer any questions as well.
Yes, parents, get on it. Free.
It's all parents in the group. I don't let anybody out other than parents inside the group. And then in that platform, you can DM me, and I DM right back of questions and things like that.
You sound real approachable. Good, real tangible. Good.
Yeah, I never not answer the phone. Somebody call me right now. Not right now when we're talking, but I will call them back and answer their question. Okay. That's right now. We in year 2025, March. I don't know if that's gonna be a situation. As of right now, I will always answer the phone.
Yesterday's prices are not today. No.
Say that again, okay? Say that again. Oh, please do tell about this UK's Women Basketball Championship in 2022. That smile, boy! I tell you, you should do NIL for yourself with that Colgate smile, honey. Okay.
Hey, that's a great idea.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, honestly, that picture it's a blur. That was a great moment for the University of Kentucky women's basketball program. The coaches, Kyra Elsie is the head coach in her third year. Winning the SEC tournament is a hard thing to do, and you got to go through people like South Carolina. You got to go through people like University of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. The whole SEC, which is the toughest conference in women's basketball right now. So that's just a moment of being proud for the program, being proud for the players. The players went through so much to get to that. They had to dig really deep, and I was happy that I got to be a part of it, got to be a part of constructing a roster of talent that was able to get to that milestone and just being able to support those players through that journey. I can't stress enough how hard it is to do that.
Is it hard?
As a player.
Is it really hard?
And the shot that we beat South Carolina. That was how we won the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a shot basically right at the buzzer, or it might have been like a few seconds, but it was like a last second shot or something like that. And yeah, it took everything for our players. Like, we had to basically play perfect to beat South Carolina. I mean, people know about South Carolina women's basketball, and our players bought it, and they dug deep to get that done.
Okay. Again, you can't emphasize how hard it is, right? Well, I do have.
Like, it's hard to be in the SEC and lose. Like, it's hard to be in there and lose. So imagine how hard it is to win.
Well, no pun intended, but if you want to shoot your shot, Mizzou has open for a women's basketball coach. Just saying, it's SEC. They gotta start over with a program.
They already know who they hiring. That person probably already, got their contract on their table right now.
I read about two names.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are
I
you?
read about 2 names, right? But what's crazy, I worked a couple of days ago. One of the suppliers, he's a big South Carolina fan for women's basketball, and he was telling me who the coach was. I said, wait a minute, they haven't announced it yet. Mind you, he is a whole supplier. He lives in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And he told me the name. I said, they haven't released it yet. I said, her contract is not getting renewed, but they haven't finished the SEC tournament. But he knew all this, and he is just a supplier, girl. He don't work with anything in sports. So I don't know if the same name you were thinking of, but I'm like, I was told 2 different names, and he came with this one. I was like, whoa.
I mean, they throw so much out there. I don't believe anything until I see them post about it.
Okay.
But I mean, they throw stuff around all the time. I mean, they have lists. Like somebody will tweet out, here are the 5 people that they're pursuing. I really don't look into it until I see something concrete, or I see, maybe it's getting traction. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that stuff can be true, but sometimes it's way off. So you never really know.
Gotcha. Well, I know you only gave us an allotted hour of your valuable time, but do you have any extra few minutes? Because Jayante and I were going to talk about a few other sports topics. Would you like to stay on with us, or do you have to leave us and make us cry?
Nah, I'm good. Let's talk. Let's ladies' night. Let's have a night.
We got her.
That's what Jayante wants to hear. She's like, oh, okay, I got somebody else.
No, our producer has submitted a question, so I want to make sure, because I want a happy home, about your thoughts on Rival League and what you thought about that.
It's amazing, right? It's a testament of what good business strategy, what good marketing, what people that understand the game that are at those tables, what can happen when you have the right people in place. The partnerships, the investments, the TV time, the concept, the players, promoting the players, the social media, everything about Unrivaled is, top notch, right? Is and it shows if you do business right, if it makes sense, then it can make money, right? Those players are getting, their salary that was posted was like $250,000 each, right? They don't even make that in the WNBA. How are you able to come up with that, in the first year league? Is good business strategy, is good marketing, is good personal branding for the players. So I love business. I love marketing. So I love seeing what good marketing actually turns into, and it turns into dollars.
Yes. Sounds like they majored in success.
They definitely majored in business. They pulling off so much stuff, even by it being broadcasted on TV. And,
right.
And like I said, the different type of partnerships that they have, the different investments, having people from the outside invest, having Flage and Paige. It's just a lot of forward thinking, right? They're thinking about, how can we make sure we get the audience of the younger girls? Are we gonna sign Flage? We're gonna sign Paige with NIL deals, and then we're gonna have them promoted. You know what I'm saying? It's just, my friend Chloe, she was at one of the biggest AU tournaments last year, giving out bracelets, right? Forward thinking, marketing, getting people on board about what Unrivaled is and what it will be. So that was meticulously planned out. And it's not about if you are a man or a woman playing basketball. It's about good business strategy and good marketing, and that's what that is showing.
Okay. So now that Jamie's gonna have a happy home, let's go ahead and segue into our list of topics here. We usually like to start off with our show about what is in your cup, honey. So, Aisha, we just talk about something that's trendy or something that has our attention. And so I don't want to steal Jamie's idea. I think she may have something different from me, but I'm going to let you go first, Jamie. And if it's something different, then I have a backup. Otherwise, we're going to end up saying the same thing. So, what's in your cup, honey?
I'm nervous. Well, I think you were going to talk about it, so I might be stealing it, so I'm sorry.
No.
Serena. Okay. with the WNBA team in Toronto that she just became, I guess, owner of or bought, whatever. But so that's my girl. So I'm just like, yes. And of course, you know, the social media fans are saying it's like a shot at Drake. We don't care about Drake. Like you said, business is business. And she getting to the bag. So I respect it. And yes, just I'm gonna be her for Halloween. I already said that's like my Super Bowl.
Okay.
Me. So stay tuned for that. So I was like, yes, go ahead. But even if she did do it because of Drake, that's my kind of petty. So I still give him I still applaud that.
That was kind of petty. Oh my God. You drinking that petty juice. That's still called petty juice.
Petty
Girl.
fail. I like it. So
Hilarious.
that's what's in my cup.
Okay. Well, another juice that's not petty juice in my cup is shout out to, we talked about them earlier, SEC, those Gamecocks. South Carolina pulled off that win against University of Kentucky by what? Buzzer beater. And then, no. Not an actual game. They won the SEC. No, they're co-champions. That's what it is. South Carolina women and University Kentucky.
They won a coin flip.
Yes.
They won a coin flip.
And they had a dual coin flip, and South Carolina won because of that. That was crazy to me, but I said maybe nobody had it in the rule book or thought about this ever happening, so why they had to do it this way, but it's still intriguing. Of course, Coach Dawn Staley is an amazing woman, what she's doing to that program, but again, your up team Kentucky, for them to even get that close, and it's just because the coin flip determined the champions, but you know, it's okay.
Yeah, it was between South Carolina and Texas.
I'm sorry, Texas.
Yeah,
that's what I said. I'm mixing up the teams. Texas.
It was a close game between Kentucky and South Carolina. That was the last game that they played in the regular season SEC. That's probably what you referred to.
Yes, it's still all crazy though. That's why I said, wait, what? From here to here? Wait, what? I'm mixing up the stories, but still, that was definitely. Has that happened before, to my knowledge? Do you think anybody said in SEC, at least for women basketball, that they had it this close to where you have co-champions flip coins? Like, what?
Yeah, I've never seen that happen. That doesn't mean it didn't happen, but they needed a coin flip. Oh, did you want me to answer?
No, go ahead. No, sweetie, go ahead.
Oh, they needed a coin flip because they both tied for co-champions. So they had to figure out who was going to get the number one seed in the tournament. So that's why they had needed to do the coin flip.
Yeah, I feel like I would feel a way about that, but
yeah, it was not taken well by Don, but they won the coin flip, so everybody was happy. But if they would have lost that coin flip, I don't know would have.
Yeah, and that's why I said nobody thought about that in the rule book. So like, okay, if this happens and this happens, but maybe they'll do that in the off season, have the rule changes or something. But yeah, interesting. But yeah, that was in my cup. What about you, Miss Aisha? Anything that's trending or something that grabbed your attention?
Yeah, I normally don't watch TV, but I'm hooked on this show. I'm gonna go a different route than what I've been talking about. Is Married at First Sight. Like I stay up and watch that show. I'm hooked. They crazy on this season. I think it's season 18, but that has my attention outside of work because I work all day, every day. So Married at First Sight has got my attention outside of work, and it got me something to laugh about and think about outside of basketball and NIL.
yeah,
I hear about that show, but I don't watch it. Jamie, you watch it?
I don't, but I have a theory that if you watch reality TV shows, that you are very smart, because we need the opportunity to let our brains relax. So I feel like you are a testimony to that, because you're doctorate and all of these things, and you came with the Married at First Sight. So
normally I never watch TV. season got me hooked for whatever reason. So that's definitely different than what I'm normally talking about or thinking about. But it is a nice outlet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching Love is Blind, and I kind of got our producer hooked on it. So, but it's interesting.
But give me the difference, because maybe I'm thinking I've heard of both shows. I know people that watch both. So is there a difference in the Love is Blind, Love at First Sight? Like, they don't know each other for a while, right? They not without seeing them. They learning each other, right? Without seeing.
Yeah, Married at First Sight, you meet at the altar and you get married.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Love is Blind, but
Yeah. Love is Blind, you get engaged, but then you determine like weeks later if you want to get married or not. So, but you still don't see them, but it's interesting. Yeah.
And I guess it's the following. You talked about marketing earlier, because I'm like, it's a break from reality. Okay, I got it, Aisha. Because I'm like, how is it 18 seasons? I'm like, 18 seasons?
and people love it. Like the comments, I be following like the fan page and the comments, like they be going in. They be making like hour-long YouTube videos breaking down every
Oh,
episode. Like
really?
it's a cult. And I guess I'm part of that cult now. But it's been a cool couple weeks. I've been on it probably about 3 or 4 months, maybe. But like I said, normally I wouldn't even touch a TV. In my old apartment, I didn't even have like cable, or my TV wasn't even plugged up. But
Wow.
Yeah.
So reading is your outlet. That's your break from reality. Just reading.
I wouldn't say it's my outlet or break from reality. It's just I'm always just trying to consume stuff to be better. I didn't have an outlet. It was just all work for real.
Yeah. Hustle hard. Okay. All right, we got to get you your theme music. Hustle. Hard. Okay. I love it though. Hey, all grind, right? You got to grind, no breaks. And then what they say?
Yeah. I mean, yes, I'm trying to move away from subscribing to that, but that just ends up what it's being. But yeah, I mean, you gotta lock in to accomplish whatever goals that you have.
Gotcha.
Oh, Miss
And
Dub.
also, like, I don't have any kids or anything. I don't have anything to really take me away from work. So if that was the case, I probably would have more things to do.
Them DMs about to be popping.
Girl, listen, them DMs. Remember we had that conversation with Xavier's mom a couple months ago? Here we are again.
Oh, so we
Man, DMs. Like that was leave the door open.
Yeah, well, y'all shared my picture. Y'all did a good job putting me out there like that.
Hey,
I might owe to y'all if I find the person I married at first sight, so I had to shout y'all out.
And speaking of that, Miss Dub just asked, are any other people from season 1 still married?
I don't know.
Right.
I know people from season 5 still married because they came on the show, but other than that, I don't really know too much about previous seasons. I'm just getting locked in with it. And I do know there are some people that are still married, but it seems like there's way more people not married than is.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jamie, batter up. New segment. Go ahead, honey.
So we got a new segment this show, Ladies Night. I'm trying to think which one I want to start with. Okay, yes. So this is called Filed Out, where it's basically, I call it Sherlock Dome. Somebody has done something just ridiculously cray, or you'd be like, for real. That's how we doing it. So I actually have 2 things. So y'all can let me cheat and do 2 things today. So for example, let's see, our boy Tank just had his fight. And I'm sure y'all heard this. He did the most hood thing ever and basically played it off and took a knee, got back up. Oh, it was grease in my eyes. I couldn't see, bruh, stop it. I feel like foul. No, you lost. Sorry, ref. You cheated a little bit, but
blame it on the hairstylist.
you gonna blame the grease? Was it Blue Magic? You had with your hair braided, sir. Just stop. Come on. But you know how you do that little trip and nobody see you, like, oh, okay, he did that with the fight, in my opinion. So he fouled out on that one. So that was my first example.
Mhm.
Second one, Luca. I love LeBron, but he also get on my nerves. But Luca, in the last games, it was like 2 games ago or something. He took the basketball, wiped the sweat off his face with the basketball, and then gonna throw it to the ref because somebody was about to do a free throw. Oh, our producer has a video.
Not only are they going to cut it in half, they're going to cut it down to a 1-possession game.
Stu, I've got an announcement for you.
What's that?
And I would be just like her,
The
bro.
ref, I know you saw that too. She just like, I ain't picking up this.
Bro, what are you doing?
Either.
We did because our producer is a LeBron lover. Is LeBron like, why?
Not only are they going to cut it in half, they're going to cut it down to a 1-possession game.
Stu, I've got an announcement for you.
What's that?
We've entered the final 5 minutes of the game, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa.
Oh, I'm glad you told me.
I jumped the gun on it. I really did.
You're on it.
Shit here in my headset. I was being reprimanded. And rightfully so. I admit it. Rightfully so.
LeBron.
He's like, what?
No, LeBron. Stop it.
Well, why you gonna say your producer is a LeBron lover? LeBron has a big following. Like you have a not a love affair, but you love KD. So it's okay. He likes LeBron. It's okay. Nothing wrong with it.
Hey, you have to acknowledge that he be doing the most sometimes.
Dramatic, yes, because I get tired of seeing him as soon as a foul is called against him or something. All of that. Now that's been getting on my nerves. We watched Laker basketball a lot up until this season, and I'm like, if he don't quit with these little crybaby moments,
yeah,
that is annoying. But everything else, I like LeBron though.
Yeah, shout out to Dorian Finney-Smith. He's on a free throw line number 17 for the Lakers. He's from the same area. My brother, me and his sister, best friends growing up. So he was in the clip, so I wanted to shout him out.
Hey, okay, I make people my cousins now. That
Girl,
their brother, that's my cousin.
Dorian Finney-Smith. He was 17 for the Lakers.
That's dope. Have you ever seen him, play?
Not as a Laker. Not even in the NBA. I haven't made it to any of the games. But I mean, all through high school, we went to every last one of their games. Like we were, like that's my guy.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I haven't been able to make it to an NBA.
On the team now.
Yeah,
I mean, like you with LeBron now. We gotta make it down.
IJS. Yes, honey. Yes. I don't know what I could talk about fouled out. Jay, like I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I got mine. Can I go?
Yeah, please.
Ready.
I'm so happy that I'm getting this platform to say this. But Anthony Edwards, foul. And not even Anthony Edwards. It's the people, it's the women that are supporting what he's doing. Anthony Edwards gonna do what he want to do. I'm not here to talk about him. It's the women that are supporting the situation, or the women that are going against the baby mom. I think her name is Aisha Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just foolishness to defend him, and then to also encourage her. Oh, she should have gotten an abortion. He ain't want it, so that's okay. So just very weird, and I hate that black women, I hate that we act like that towards each other.
Yeah.
I kind of know, and I kind of don't know what's the story. All I know, he got baby mom drama, somebody sleeping with somebody going for child support, somebody age gap, that's with somebody else, baby.
Yeah, he has like 4 kids that are the same age, literally, but he has a girlfriend. So he has a girlfriend, and he's playing house and being a great dad to that one kid, and being dad of the year for this one kid. But he has other kids that are literally around the same exact age, and he's basically declining them, or it was a text message that said get an abortion. She didn't get an abortion. She had the baby's 4 months. So it's news going around saying that he doesn't want visitation, right? He want nothing to do with this baby. And then and people are defending him, talking about, oh, well, he told her to get an abortion, why she keep the baby, and it's just ridiculous to see how society is against a black woman who decided to have a child. You know what I'm saying? And then no accountability for what he's doing. It's always, well, she laid down with him, or he said he didn't want to be in her life, whatever the case may be. I normally don't even get into stuff like this, but I hate the fact that we do this to each other. It makes zero sense why people should be encouraging or saying that it's somehow her fault.
Right.
It's very weird.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed in him because I was really like on his team. Like, oh, he about to be like the next, right? Like like the and the Curry, like he was gonna be the next. And his behavior is just, he definitely got a-hole tendencies. And I can't rock with it, So I'm so disappointed in him. But I also agree with you that it's probably people he's associated with, because he had to grow up fast, because I know his mom passed away when he was young. His sister kind of played type of thing, but it's still no excuse. That's even more reason why you should be more responsible, especially when you bring in life into this world. So he needs somebody to give him one of,
Yeah. And then quick. I'm disappointed in him, but at the same time, that's I'm more disappointed at society being okay with this, or society continuing to accept the behavior and no accountability. Like, people gonna do bad stuff, and if they're not gonna change their behavior unless there's accountability. So the lack of accountability is just it's kind of scary to be a part of this world where so many people thinking that way. But
yeah, it's like the classic old tale. Every woman who has been a participant with a dude, it's always the woman's fault, period. Like, even though y'all both knew what y'all was doing, it's always the woman having to take the brunt of it, and it's just expected behavior, I guess, for a guy. But yeah, I'm with you on it. Yep.
So that's my foul.
Oh, definitely. Good topic, ladies. Good discussion on that. Thank you for informing me what's going on. Hope for the best. I mean, every year it seems like it's one NBA player, not every year, but the newer ones is going to take the headlines and do something crazy. Like we had John Morant's issues, and we got this issue, because it's the stuff off the personal life that spills up into their work life and then get them in trouble eventually if they don't be careful.
They need to read a book.
Tell them, future Dr. Foy, let them know. Read a book.
Hey.
Knowledgeable, okay?
There we go. Look, we got somebody else.
Pro-choice is always
lack of accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's society. It's very weird. It's very weird. See, look, it's coming on right now. Let me hear it.
Oh.
Okay, he says, first, I think it's Will Moorhead. He said, what if he wanted the child, but she didn't? He can't make her keep it. It's her pro-choice. Men should have pro-choice as well.
I mean, Will, because you decided to come up here and say that, like, that narrative is exactly what I'm talking about, the lack of accountability. Like, it's the what if, and like you're as a man deflecting the fact that you brought somebody in this world. Like, forget that. You talking about a whole different subject, Will. Come on now. It don't matter. You have a child in this world. So the lack of accountability, that comment, that thought process is exactly what's what women have to deal with. And I ain't say women have to deal with, but just be accountable. Don't find you trying to find reasons. Don't find, like, be accountable to what it is.
Yep. Nope. She's standing on business.
It's so crazy how we bring that up, and there it goes. Like, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Like, accountability will, men and women. It's not. I'm not bashing men. The word accountability for your actions. Is no what ifs. Is no ifs, thens, this, that. Is no, but she can do this and I can't do that. Accountability for your actions.
Period. Oh.
I'm trying to read it.
Yeah, no, I love this. I love this dialogue with this type of mindset. Okay, so we're not talking. We're talking. You now you're making a generic situation up, right? We're not trying to make a situation up. We're talking about people being accountable for their actions. Doesn't matter because a woman can have an abortion without a man's consent. You can't force a man to be. See, you're deflecting accountability. You are finding reasons to not be accountable for a situation. Do you see that pattern? Do you see how that's toxic even thinking? You are trying to find a reason not to be accountable for your behavior. It is no comparison. It is no, but women can. Accountability. And then you victimize yourself, because I'm not going to say you're speaking for all men, because you're not. You're victimizing yourself, saying somebody forced you to be accountable. Can't nobody force you to be accountable for your actions. Like, you see how, like, you see the world that we live in is a prime example. And it's scary. You talking about somebody forcing you to be accountable for your actions, Will? Does that make sense? It's not men versus women. It's you as a person being accountable for your actions. Society cannot tell you what to do. It's you owning up to what you did. So weird. I think it's so weird. And I hope I can say this since this ladies' night. I think it's so weird when men try to compare their situations to what a woman can do. Just be accountable. Nobody can force you to be accountable if you are accountable.
So the word for today, if no one else picked up anything else from all our great interview with you, is
weirdo, like weird.
Word for the day, ladies and gentlemen, all our viewers, listeners, accountable.
And Will, if you want to continue this conversation and you want to keep explaining your logic, you can call me. I am happy to continue this conversation because you sound crazy.
Logic. I haven't heard that one before. Boy, look at you.
Crazy. If a man, everybody's responsible for their actions.
Correct.
Exactly. If a man and a woman have a child, they are both responsible.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we'll see if Will hit you up later and wants to go into this content.
Will, you sound crazy. Goodness gracious.
Said doctorate, she got time.
Well, we're not talking about. We're talking about everybody being accountable. Will, my number is 757-439-6260.
I gotta say, just hop in the DM. We talked about the DMs earlier. Hop in her DMs.
I'm gonna break down what you're saying. I'm just speaking on pro-choice. Why are you speaking on pro-choice? Pro-choice don't got nothing to do with this. Like, why are you trying to make up a reason to get out of a situation? Did I bring up pro-choice? Did anybody bring up pro-choice? Why you bringing up pro-choice? You laid down, you had a kid, you responsible for it. Or was you in a situation where you like why you bringing in reasons? Why are you bringing in reasons to get out of a situation? And why are you comparing yourself to a woman? That's weird. That's weird, Will. That's weird.
Love it.
I know. I was like, okay. It's okay. Hear his side, her side.
I'm back with another comment. I already said my number.
I know, but yeah, hit our DM up. Will hit our DM up. Y'all can continue the conversation.
For your actions. Don't worry about what nobody else did. Don't know about what if a woman did this? What if it did like you know how you sound like that's icky. Any man that says what if a woman, just stop. Like I can't talk about this. It's gonna sound like I hate men because I don't. I appreciate men.
Oh,
but if you a man and you say what if a woman, stop. Just don't continue. Stop. What if a woman?
We thank you, Will, because you didn't brought Aisha out.
I want to say, listen, Aisha from Virginia Beach, baby. Okay, that's
on business.
And this is our subject. This is our subject actually when in a class that I'm taking right now. We're talking about gender and gender performance and gender in society. You don't make sense. No man makes sense saying what if a woman.
Show this YouTube clip for our podcast in the class, okay? So we can get people engaged in this topic as well as you see you and Will going back and forth, and then there'll be a shameless plug to promote the Platform Sports Talk Show.
Go down Women's History Month. We knew it was going to
be Thank you, Aisha. You did doing it.
Woman, cut it.
If you say what if a woman, stop. Do you want to be a woman? And I'm not coming at you specifically, Will, but men, if you're talking about what if a woman, do you want to be a woman? Like, get out of here. Goodness.
You want our problems? Trust me.
To you specifically, but that's how I feel when dudes say stuff like that. Like, just be a man. Like, don't say what if a woman. Just be a man and be accountable to your actions. And that's it. All right. Let's move on to another subject.
Well, come back from that. Well, we got the other segment to do. Last but not least, She Got Game, right?
Let's
do it.
Ladies' Night is Women's History Month, so we just want to highlight, a female athlete or something, or with the realm of females going on in the world today for She Got Game. And I got to think about mine, so I'm trying to think of I will say one of the thing that's coming to the top of my mind is like a few months ago, I got to meet Asia Wilson. So yay.
Oh, you got to meet her? Oh.
Yeah, she had a book signing here in St. Louis. So I got to meet her. I got my pic with her.
That's my girl. Oh my gosh.
But
I know how much times I talk on the show about Asia Wilson. It's my girl. And you kept it yourself, Jayon, you went into the book signing.
No, it was on Facebook, but it's been a minute. It was last year, but yep. Me and my mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, we went, saw Asia. But no, like in regards to marketing and things like that, I know she just came out with the, I guess, Nike hoodie with the silk lining in it because she was saying her mom got tired of her wearing the bonnet to the airport. I was like, it's the simplest thing, but I think that's so genius.
That is, I like that.
In the hoodie, so I was like, that's dope.
That's dope. You talking about marketing? How many of us wear bonnets? Oh, that's so dope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so jealous.
Platform Sports Talk Show.
Hey, I love that plug though. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, look at Asia. I'm telling you, I'm such a big fan of her. She's she's down to earth, isn't she? She seems like she's down to earth.
Very. And I mean, like, I just, like that was a brief interaction, but just her trajectory from then to now is just dope to see. And like I said, even the marketing behind the silk line hoodies, like, come on. It's like the things are sitting right there. So it's go time. Like things like that motivate me to be like, okay, it's time to turn it up a notch. So she got game.
Okay. Well, she got game. I was supposed to mention this earlier, but I can do this now. Aisha, we can talk about Diana Taurasi. She got game all right because she's retiring. How many years did she do, y'all? Was it
the GOAT?
Almost 20? She did a lot of years, so she definitely got game. She's hanging up the basketball shoes for now, but I can see her coaching though. I can't see her being away from the game too long.
I think it'll be interesting to see what she'll do.
But she definitely got game, baby. A lot of game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who do I want to shout out. She got game. All the college athletes, women's basketball players. I'll shout out Jada Walker at Baylor. That's my girl. We both from Virginia. We was at Kentucky together, and yeah, they're about to head into their tournament. So shout out to her. She doing big things, and looking for another run in the NCAA tournament. Let's go, Jada.
Okay. Shout out to her. And last but not least, got one more thing we want to hit, Aisha, which is we run this. So you know how the bomb we are, right? And we do run stuff. So all these men that are running these leagues, it's like you need a woman's perspective. You need a woman's touch. So what would you change? Like, what would you do differently in any sport? It doesn't have to just be the major ones. You can talk about cricket. You can talk about what's the thing? What's the ball? Not pickleball. You could talk about what's another odd one people do?
Lacrosse, water polo.
Yeah. Or it could be the major sport. I'm just saying anything. What would you change differently? Because to me, there's a league for everything. There's a league probably out here now for how to what is it? What is it? Other stupid. I shouldn't say stupid. Somebody likes it. Frisbee. There's competitive frisbee. So
what would I change? I don't know. A change about a sport. This is a tough one.
Right. Honey, you got one?
This is a tough one.
I mean, I've said a few already, but you could talk about with Joe Bo's absence, baseball. She knows how I feel about certain things in baseball. But one thing I could mention, you know, they had the uniform fiasco last year. They went to a different company and the stuff was, you know, horrible. It's because it was see-through. It was horrible to men, but for women, you know, it worked out in our favor. Let's be real. So I would change. You could keep the old uniforms. Okay, I'm just saying. Hey, what's wrong with that, right? What's wrong with it? Okay. You can change and revert to the top to the old version and keep the pants the newer version. How about that? I'm just saying. It's in honor of Joe Bo in baseball. You know, that uniform was thin. So you saw a lot of extra stuff that you didn't see in the old uniform. Just saying.
One thing I can't say this. I just thought about this. One thing I would change is bring the old Big East back. Bring the old Big East conference back. It's weird. The Big East conference.
You know what? With the history of the Big East, I didn't realize they were the dominant and the must-see college basketball in the 70s and 80s. I was like, Big East. Really?
I mean, not even that far. That's not even that. While I was in college, the Big East was dominant in basketball more, but then they switched everybody around. It's just odd. Not competitive, not as competitive anymore.
You think it'll come back that way though? Everything doesn't have to stop if they, you know, they may do some musical chairs with some colleges again.
They might, but I don't see it being back the way it was.
Oh, okay. But I went way back and said 70s, 80s helped Big East because I didn't know. Because I was, you know, I'm a big Georgetown fan growing up, watching them because of my father. But I didn't know the impact they had. I saw a documentary, probably on ESPN or something. And I'm like, Big East used to be that? Like that was how SEC is in football. Mm-hmm. That's how basketball, at least men, not much about the women's side, was like that with Big East. I'm like, what? I couldn't tell. Now you said up until recently, it got moved around, but I I think that for a few conferences are like that though. People are like, oh, we were better before we had the whole shuffle around. I mean, it may revert back to old ways, or you may shuffle it again and bring back the nucleus of the Big East teams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Miss Dub says she'd give half court or longer shots 4 points.
Okay. I like.
And of course, our friend Mr. Will said, I think they should lower the rim in women's basketball. Sucks would make the game more exciting.
Will, you are like,
oh gosh,
you are like
your DMs,
girl. Right? Just get her DM, or just say you like her, dude. Just say it. With all these comments and statements, he knows gonna get you riled up, Aisha. Just tell him
love. That's what I think.
That's a love tap. Remember he said we was young. Love taps.
I really hope he said that on purpose, because if he think like that for real, then like he's really that type of dude.
Oh gosh.
He's that type of dude.
Oh God. Oh Will.
Oh, Aisha, that's what it is.
Will. Aisha said, look, just say the BS. That's the type of dude you want to say. That's what she's saying.
Oh no, he did say lower the real. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think still, but I wanted to say something around the NBA All-Star game to breathe more life back into it. Like, I wasn't that mad about how it went, them playing like the rookies or whatever. Like, it was okay. But maybe figuring out some type of incentive or way that they can get the star players that's going to bring in the views and partnerships and sponsors to get a part of it. Like, if it's, I don't know, somehow they can tie to their marketing, or some amount of money goes to some business venture or something to get them more invested in it. And also, I don't know what the criteria is to be part of like the dunk contest, but they need to get some competition for my boy, because he just is making everybody look bad. So like it might as well just be a one-man show at this point. So I don't know what it would be, but those are things that I would change or look into changing and figuring out some way to incentivize so it can be more like it used to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully they figure that out.
Yeah. I didn't appreciate Draymond, though. He was just doing too much negative Nancy talking. I'm like, all right, sir, calm down. Go sit down somewhere. He was like an old uncle. Just be quiet.
Uncle Draymond, just step aside. Uncle, hey, just step to the side. Just leave the comments over there. He's so silly. I just think a quick fix, but for the All-Star game, it goes back to just the simple stuff. I don't want you to beat me, so I'm gonna go compete hard. I want you to beat me. Yeah, who used to get me, but I get it. He was taught this growing up. KG. You ever see the KG by the basket? They blow the whistle. He will always make sure you get the ball and throw it back in the basket. Mind you, the ball's dead, y'all. There's no play. But anytime he throw it in there, there's no points for it, but he trained program like you just keep going, even though the whistle stopped, you just keep playing. It's type mindset. And I'm just saying, you all-star. This is the halfway point. No. Well, a little more halfway point of the season. Why won't you want to give these fans a good show, not a clown around thing?
Yeah. Well, what I think they're tired. It's probably hard to think about having fun if you're in the middle of a stressful season. Yeah, a lot of them seem like they want a longer break, so maybe make it more about upcoming players so they can feel that excitement, feel that hype to get out there and prove themselves.
Maybe it will work, but then it goes back to your marketing.
Yeah.
I was telling to my husband, I said, listen, you got diehard fans, you got fair weather fans, you just got, okay, it's gonna be celebrities, they're entertainers. I'm gonna go for that. All right, nothing to do with the game. I'm talking about to the All-Star festivities. But if you're talking about the up and coming, it wasn't bad. I was telling them, like, you gotta look at it. It's just generations they market to. Who are they trying to get the money out of? Because the All-Star game is not necessary. It's a tradition, but it's not necessary. You get All-Star stats. You can make an All-Star team without actually playing the game, right? That does not get it taken away from your personal resume. So it's technically not needed, but they have it. My thing is, if you can't do it or won't do it all the way, you're tired, mental break, need whatever, take away the game period then. Let's see that happen and see if then that's going to get a demand to want to bring it back. Because the let's be half-assed that you see in playing out there, and I get for the other stuff you got going on, you can save it. Let me just see it for a game that counts. Another win or loss. See if you're going to get to the playoffs with this win or loss throughout the season instead of just one game or the whole weekend. Just do it without the game. The 3-point contest, dunk contest, and the Rising Star is fine, but just take away the actual NBA All-Star game.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something I would change.
They get paid way too much for me to.
But since you said that they get paid too much, then show up and play a hard game. Because you said they may need a break. They're tired. There are people who work in coal mines every day. There are people that are sitting there doing 12-hour shifts, 4 days in a row. Then they get that little break, but they're constantly doing. There are people who are grinding hard as yourself. And I've thrown a physical side of it, though. So that's why I mentioned coal miners, the physical side of that job. And getting paid not even a tenth of what them dudes doing.
Yeah.
The only difference is they're traveling every few days in a coal mine and risking, but they're putting their lives in danger and getting paid pennies compared to them players. So, you're talking about that. Hey, nobody's coming up to pay to see coal miners. You're right. But they grind hard physically for their paper and put their life in danger. So these people are not putting their life in danger per se. In general, you have injuries, but I'm saying and getting paid millions. Yeah. And they get 3 months out of the whole year off. A coal miner gets, a month, 2 months max out the year, if that. Come on. That's my only compared to physical stuff. There's other stuff that goes with it. I'm just putting it on the surface. So if you say they get paid way too much, they need to show up to the game and have a game, they play it out. Play the game like we're going to go to playoffs or not based off if I play hard or not. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, not facts.
Your boy. I can't read it.
They ruined it with the play-in tournament. They probably should make the All-Star game the play-in tournament. Play it during the time of All-Star break. Just get rid of it. Okay.
Okay, he said something, went crazy.
That was a safe comment.
I didn't think I heard that all evening from him. So a safe comment. That's what's up. Okay.
No place to disrespect women right there. So
good job, Will. Ms. Dove said it seems that the top players don't care about All-Star Weekend anymore. Facts. Because your boy LeBron started the trend, but I saw my mama comment earlier. Mama, I saw you talking about LeBron.
Don't do your mama like that. Don't do moms. She's a sweet person. You cannot come for her. No, ma'am. Moms is not on that list. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Don't do moms. She said, stop hating on LeBron. She got a point there. Can't hate. It's like comparing him to KD. You in your household. It's okay.
Ms. Dove agrees. And I mean, if Ms. Dove say it, it's facts.
Okay. Look, you want Will to take a page out of Ms. Dove's handbook so he can be on the good side of the comments?
Right.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
We'll have to do a recap once you and Will had this conversation. I want to hear or call or something. So
you don't already text me.
Oh yeah, we gotta have a part two. Producer, write this down. We gotta bring her back. We gotta do a part two to this. We gotta see the follow up. Come on. Oh yes. Make it happen, producer. Make it happen.
Well, Will and Aisha debate.
Girl, listen, I can get the popcorn ready real fast.
He said, "Well,
I don't run away now." You do. No. Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you do. You do have something against women.
oh,
It may not be apparent. It may not be intentional, but like something in your brain has something against women. Because why would you even compare yourself to a woman, or why would you compare men to a woman if you don't have anything against women? So I would explore that a little bit within yourself, because that's weird.
woo.
I want that debate to happen. Y'all keep talking, DM, test, call, let us know so we can do part two, okay? We only had so much time tonight, y'all, but you got this must-see TV. Yes.
My business.
Girl, I got the popcorn ready, honey.
We
Yes.
actually started a debate show in my spare time. Exactly.
Now Miss Dub done jumped in. I'm
feels
out.
ready. Oh snap.
Weird.
Woohoo! Oh yeah, Aisha, this is not your last time on the Ladies' Night edition of the Platform Sports Talk Show. Before we go, anything else you want to wrap up and say to your viewers, your potential clients, your family, friends? Anything you want to say?
I mean, we talked about a lot. I'm just really big into, self-discovery and figuring out, what you are meant to do. Whatever you want to do, you can put your mind to and do. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram if you have any questions. I'm happy to discuss anything that we've talked about today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Again, we've had a great, fun-filled Ladies' Night show on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Thanks for watching, but you know what? That's not all, because next week, the main show returns on next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can always catch us on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. And of course, if you don't want to hear us on the radio, you can always catch our archive shows on YouTube. All right. Don't forget YouTube, subscribe, click on the bell. Of course, catch us on Facebook. We have different comments, interactions with stuff we post all the time. So feel free to comment. Platform Sports Talk Show on Facebook and on IG. And of course, X, formerly known as Twitter. We are 314 Sports Talk there. All right. And even though it's the first Wednesday of the month, the last Wednesday of the month, we have the Man Cave. The fellas hold it down. Now, they think they all that, but the way we came today on Women's History Month, shoot. Y'all got to come back for some more on next month's edition of Ladies' Night. But for everybody out there, be safe. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you.
What you have just experienced was brought to you by Smoooth Productions. Until next time, stay tuned and stay smooth.